Hello and welcome. This is the 13th day of September 2017, and I want to go through some wild volatility on another marijuana coin not covered on the 2.5 minute warning code THC. I'm patiently waiting, oh, I hope it works, for tokens to arrive at this site. I bought them earlier. A decent amount. I barely transferred any to Bittrex to see if it would work. I'm waiting on one more confirmation, left 13 of 14. So I figured safe. I transferred half of the other ones. And I've already sold the other half at the other exchange. So where did I buy? Well, this is a situation when, at this point, when the market was around 600 on the first level higher, I was able to pick some up at the price of around 530 as well as around 550. And then I'm looking at this volatility, and it's going to work out to most likely a decent amount of profit, just trying to find day trading opportunities. So therefore, what I'm going to do is just pause this a little bit so that I can show how interesting this market may end up becoming. Okay, now I got to figure out how to pause it with the full screen, and now I know how. And I'll take a look at this chart a little more long term. I don't even think I've really looked much at it long term, actually. What I did is I sold a little under half of the remaining half, so under half of half at about 650. The other one at about 670, and I'm regretting the fact that I already had orders in to sell at 750 on the a different exchange, that is. I don't know what it would have went up to there, because I withdrew. I'm like, okay, now that the transfer's good, let's go over and be able to move higher. Now I have the option here, if I wish, to buy back what I just sold at a cheaper price. Probably not going to do that though. Well, maybe. We'll take a look at the long-term time frame. So basically what we're getting here is me looking at a chart that I've probably seen in the past, but I don't remember at this stage. And interesting, I bought a decent amount without even knowing that, but that's because of the mathematics, of course, of the situation at the time. So let's look at this on a 5-minute time frame, and alrighty then. I'm going to probably have to use a linear chart here, unfortunately. Oh no, maybe it'll still work. Well, if it goes under 100, I will. That's the problem with this site. It can't handle numbers under that level. And like I've been saying with a lot of these codes, I mean, they go up and they come back down. So yeah, I want to be a seller. I also realize that it can come back up in here, so it's potentially day tradable. Now what I can do here, and this is something that's very interesting, is I can go back in time and see how, let's get the dates right. Start of June, that's just the summer solstice, and August 23rd mainly. Do I have a paper nearby? I do. Let me just write the other dates. So we have August 23rd. And I really don't care too much about these days, but I really want to see these ones here. So this is July 19th, July 14th. And I guess even a little bit for this day here, which is July the 2nd. All right, then. Let's just see if there's any more. Oh, yeah, this is what I talk about. So this is what we'll take a look at this on a linear chart. Holy crap, this has been around for a while. And it always has these moves in here. I mean, it's so profitable to put these sell orders and buy back later. And quite frankly, I'm going to be probably looking to buy this on the way back lower. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this on the hourly time frame and just scan back in time. Last date is that I want to look at is August the 23rd, which is right in here. So what do we see in the hourly time frame? No, I'm not interested in Canadian stocks, but it's going to come back up though, and they're going to ask me. And you know what? I kind of got to get a better upgrade, because having something like this is like really cool, where I can put in, say, what was the high? We'll say even, and that's like so cool. So this way, as I'm going through this analysis, if this thing breaks 680, I'm going to get an alert. And this works out really handy in trading, because if I know if a market breaks out or breaks down, I know I can profit with it one way or another. And if I know it does that, then that works. And I got a sell order, say, somewhere. Say I'm selling something at 650. Okay, if it crosses 649, let me know, kind of deal. So we see the rise up, comes back down to the band, and it does eventually fall. So oftentimes you can see with a big move, it has a pretty decent retest of that level. No, not this time. It just kept going lower. So this is something that, of course, as a buyer who basically wagered about 4.5 times more than I normally would on a position, and I've already sold half for profit, I want to sell some of it off. I'll probably calculate break even, and then whatever is left remaining after that. So that's that date. Let's go back to, that's August 23rd, so we got July 19th. And if this doesn't work and I can't go back, I'll do the 2-hour time frame. But I think I can go back. I've done this quite often with other charts. It's a good tool. If you're just trying to learn stuff and you can just practice how you would day trade. It's actually, I used to do this all the time with charts like free stock charts, but this one's much more better for doing this. You just go back all the way and you practice. So yeah, this is where I would buy. This is where I'd sell. And you can see how you would do. It's good practice. It doesn't cost anything. And July 19th is... even here we can see this move go on, boom, and then it just crashes down. So here's the 19th move. Again, it goes up. It's like a pump and dump every single time. 14th, right in here, it goes up. Now this one did retest the previous high again after its first test. This is what I'm talking about. You go up, you go all the way up to like 500, you fall down to 3. You know what, close enough. And that's the type of market behaviors I usually kind of expect. And in this case, I'm hoping for again today. And we will now continue to rewind to the big one, I think was August the 23rd. Well, even in here, like July the 1st, actually July the 2nd, I got written down. I wrote that. But look at how instant this is. Like, and if you're playing the game of just sell order, buy order, if you already have them, okay, so let's just say you bought whatever in here, or whatever lower price you had in the 400s, 300s, whatever, and you put a sell order in if you had it for 430s, 440s, 480s, and maybe you had 556 and it missed, and that's going to happen. But you see it, oh, you're notified, sell order hit, sell X amount of THC at 470. And then you look back and you see it's at 380. You're like, sweet, because you can profit take. Anyway, August the 23rd. Really 21st into the 23rd. So you can see within this one here, this had 2 pumps, if you will. Because when it came back down to its lower end, then it managed to make its move back higher. And then, of course, down she falls. Well then, so what we're going to do is go back in time. I can go back this way, but you know what's easier? Just go to a longer term time frame like this. And then do it that way. 616, hey, I'm satisfied with that. Alrighty, let's take a look at this on the 1 minute time frame again. And okay, very nice. I'm going to pause it again for a little bit. So I've went over this. I think for me, the best way of playing this is selling when it gets to these points like this. Not selling everything, but definitely selling for a minimum break, like a profit take. And then when you have a big move lower, you just hold these and you have your sell orders in for like these higher numbers, because they do this all the time. So I know I've lived in the 80s, so I'm going to say this because that's what I did. I'm going to pause the tape, although there is no tape involved. And the timing, they literally have just received my coins. Do I want to sell it at 560? I mean, technically I bought it at 550 and 530, and I've already sold decently higher. It creates difficult decisions, because I also realize here that if I were to sell, say, well, I sold half, like 570 and 660, and what were the of course I wrote down what I sold it for. Again, pause the tape. Sorry about this. Yeah, I sold 620 and 660, and this is enough right now for me to get out. And I'm out at 579 at a break-even cost. So as I stated on the outset, I basically bought about 4 times more than a normal position, and it looks as if I got close to what I would like to buy if I were to just get into anything. So now what I've done is I've bought some at 534, I bought some at 550, and then I turned around and I sold everything in Bitcoin costs that I spent at 620, 660, and 579. And now with the remainder, this gives me the opportunity to day trade this throughout the day, because I could see some wild moves. So generally speaking, the most efficient, easiest way for me to do this will be to just look for areas to where to sell. So I'd probably look to maybe sell some into these 600s area. And then, of course, I'll look to buy back. And I'm going to actually be putting buy orders in down below. I'll probably look to maybe buy at 500, just because I've already exited out of the position cost that I wanted to as well. And when you're moving cryptos from different sites, oftentimes what I look at too, if there's ever sites where I want to liquidate out of Bitcoin, then I'm going to want to buy on those sites. And this is exactly what happened. So the place where I bought them, I wanted to get out of Bitcoin. And because I was able to buy them there, sell only half of it at that exchange and half of it on another, it's almost another way too of doing a Bitcoin transfer to another site without having to pay 100,000 Satoshi or whatever cost that may be associated with such. All right then. So again, within these coins, the main objective for me, short term only, I'll be looking to be playing these moves on the way down. But then when it comes to a more longer term time frame, like I've been pointing out, these things go way up and they go back down. As far as its normal trend, it's magnetizing to the band without really going below it. When's the last time it's had the opposite effect? We see this move in here. See, it always does the same thing, and it makes it easy as the level on the point. You basically, I think the easiest thing to do is when it gets back to the 18 average, you buy. And that's what I'm going to do, basically. I'm going to buy when this gets back to the 18 average band for more serious amounts. As far as, like I say, the rest of the day, just smaller amounts to play in and out of. But, I mean, just play the trend. until the trend ends, it's probably going to be relatively reliable. And just the fact of buying low and just placing your sell orders high, I think is just it's been a phenomenal strategy for me. And that's the best way of putting it. Alrighty then, 15 minutes on a day trading video. And again, if you notice something is up really big somewhere on smaller sites, sometimes you can buy for deals, and you have to be fast upon it. Because what happened with me is I did the 2.5 minute warning, and I knew I missed. There was one coin I can't remember offhand. I knew I missed for sure, and I wasn't even thinking of this one. But there's like 6 or 7 of them out there. And then I seen, hemp coin on a big gainer. I'm like, oh shit, I missed that. Oh, I should have put it in. And then I noticed, oh my goodness, it just went up. So I looked for the play, and okay, I might as well go for the trade this way. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day.